life. Matt, I assume you're aware of what it is about Lucas and Old City. How do you, as a manager, keep that from maybe being a distraction for the player and everybody else? Do you anticipate that he'll be with the club on August 15th?
I mean, first thing we did just win a game 1-0 in the last minute. It's the second game in the row at home that we've done that. So I think big credit to the guys. Fantastic win, good performance. Lucas stuff's off my radar. I don't know. Obviously just finished the game, so pretty immersed in what was a pretty stressful game, and then just praising the guys afterwards for the late win. So no real update on that from that perspective.
Keith and then Braden.
Coach, you just mentioned it was a pretty stressful game. Like you said, get the late winner. Does your mentality change going into Sunday when you're reviewing the game if that late winner doesn't happen, or were you still happy with the performance either way?
No, never. Obviously, certain things change in terms of confidence and momentum, and it's again, we worked really hard over the break in terms of the mentality. We know our fitness is outstanding, so we know, or I know, watching the games, we should finish games strong. And our style of play, as I said to the guys at half time, it's a top first half performance, and you can't come in frustrated that we haven't scored, because you're going to reap the benefits of the work you did in the first half late on in the game, because the opponent's going to be tired. They're just literally just chasing the ball around the pitch. So we have to know there's no change in the second half. It's just a byproduct of the whole game and the style of play. Of course, I would like to have been more goals up earlier. We had some ridiculously big chances. So I thought overall it was another really strong performance. I think I've been really pleased with the level of the group, from the Juarez game to the Minnesota game to the San Diego game. In St. Louis, we had to show a different face because obviously Rob got sent off so early, but I haven't seen the mentality and commitment like that for a team in terms of defending their penalty spot. A team that's usually used to dominating games, usually when you can't do that, those teams look a little bit passive or a little bit weak around their penalty box because they're not used to suffering and defending. So when I saw that, I was really proud of the group. I said that's something we have to keep, even when we're 11 against 11. And then tonight we finished really strong. It was a very, I don't even know what our XG would be, but it definitely must be over 2 or 2.5. Well, we had so many big chances in the game. It was a really strong performance. So now we have a couple of days off, but we have to stay focused because we've got 2 more home games and a real good opportunity now to try and climb up the league.
Braden Larson, knocking on Soccer Journal. Coach, how much are you buzzing for Hoffa, getting over that scoring slump, especially the way he did it, earned the penalty and then buried it?
Yeah.
How much has your confidence level in him from the spot improved over the season as Alistair has gotten some time with him, tweaked his run?
Yeah, we do a lot of work behind the scenes. More probably Rob Birch, who does a lot of that with Rafa. So listen, whenever we get a penalty, I at least have the confidence. I know exactly where the penalty's going because I watch Rafa practice that penalty numerous times the day before the game. That's sort of the routine. We do some practice throughout the week, but then always the last thing he does after training the day before the game is practice the exact penalty he's going to use the next day. It's a routine that Harry Kane used at Tottenham, and given that Harry's world class, we stole that and implemented it here, and this, obviously Rafa has reaped the benefits of it. So on the sideline at least I have a good confidence to watch him. I know exactly where he's going to put the ball. He has a really clear process in terms of even down to how he plays with his socks, to how he breathes, to how he sets himself up, the visualization. So listen, he could miss a penalty, but at the minute he's in really good form. I think overall it's a great lesson for him to keep going to the end. Sometimes he gets frustrated in games if he hasn't scored early or he's missed a couple of chances. Obviously missed a massive header at the back post. So I was really pleased that he kept going to the end. And pleased also with the substitutes, the impact of them. I mean, I don't know what shape we were playing at the end of the game as we were chasing it. It was just a case of trying to get as many attacking players that we currently have at our disposal onto the pitch. Keegan always gives us good attacking impetus as well, so it was important to get him out there on his 200th appearance. It's a fantastic accolade for him. And so I was really pleased with this. It's a little bit like the San Diego game where I'll always in those situations make real positive substitutions, get attackers onto the pitch. Another cap for Donovan. Obviously Alex Harris came on, had a couple of good moments, made us look more dangerous down the right. Yappy played 9 and then left wing. Rafa played 9, 10, then 9 again. So it was a jigsaw out there, and that's why I joke that it was a little bit of a stressful game. It should have been a formality. It should have been it should have been finished a lot earlier. When you get to those latter stages, obviously I have to earn my money as well from the sideline. So I think overall, as a coaching team, a group of players, it's a really successful night for us.
Matthew with Pitcast. Oh, you okay?
Good, sore throat.
I do want to dig into your response a little bit. You talked about the late game winner. You talked about the stats. I show you're at 2.93 xG, 4 big chances, 23 total shots, and 11 corner kicks. Yet we don't get the winner until the 95th minute. Same as the San Diego game. Is this a sustainable way to win games? And how do we convert those chances earlier in the game to get more dominant leads?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think my answer is it's definitely a sustainable way because you can't continually defy the XG. So I'd be more worried if it was the other way around, that we weren't creating big chances, but we were a little bit earlier in the season where we were scoring 2s and 3s, and deep down in my heart of hearts, I knew that wasn't sustainable. Whereas this, I know we're gonna. You keep producing those statistics, you keep producing those performances, you're going to score goals, and 1 goal leads to 2 goals because the opponent has to change. I think one of the most incredible things I saw this evening was 4 seconds added on at half time, which I've not witnessed in an MLS game since I arrived in America. And the amount of, I don't know what ball in play was in the first half, because every restart, obviously the opponent, which they have the right to do, we're taking a long time over theirs, but that's where we need the officiating team to at least give us, if you're not going to book people, at least give us the time back. So I thought that was really surprising. We lost our way midway through the second half. I actually started to think we could lose the game. We became less detailed in terms of our rest defence. We weren't arriving organised, and that comes through a little bit of that frustration of like, oh my God, how have we not scored? And then suddenly your centre backs and your midfielders don't arrive close on the edge of the box, and the ball gets cleared, and suddenly you're suffering counter attacks. Whereas first half, I never thought that was a really controlled game. I was happy with the way we were attacking the spaces. We created big opportunities. I don't know how. I need to watch it back. I don't know how we've not scored from a set play tonight. All the movements were right. The aggression was good. The deliveries were top. We seemed to have loads of good situations, but somehow the ball wouldn't go in. But also credit to the opponent. I knew they would come here with a big reaction from the Houston game. You know they can be quite unpredictable in terms of some games they press, some games they sit in a low block, so we have to be pretty flexible with our preparation. But yeah, I think my overriding emotion tonight is that's a really big win, and it's a really successful evening in terms of keep building this idea of how strong we are physically and how strong we are mentally. Hopefully, of course, in the next game, the attack or the finishing, not even the attacks, we're creating the chances, the finishing really, really clicks. And I think the last part of that is also recruitment. There's still minimum 1 more player going to be coming through the door. Obviously, Yusuf is in the building, but I can't play yet. He has that special something around the box that doesn't really come from the coaching pitch. He has a little bit of flair. He sees a different pass to what I can see from the sideline, or a different bit of skill, which is a little bit what we lack in the group. And then there'll be another offensive player coming through the door for sure, just to give us more depth and continue to help us. So we're in a good spot, but we've got to keep going.
Good day, sports 원장. Austin's defense was pretty solid, and then what was the hardest part to breaking them down?
Yeah, I think it's always when you face. I won't really even call them 5-4-1 because they were more 5-2-3. Their inside forwards were so narrow, so they gave us the outside. So you're arriving a lot against the back 5 and 2 holding midfielders. I thought they covered the spaces reasonably well, but I also thought we attacked the spaces well. It's not like I wasn't looking at tonight thinking, cool, we've got loads of possession, loads of territory, but we can't really get near their goal. I thought we created really, really big opportunities. In certain, like Paxton had 2 great runs and situations on his left foot. We swapped the corridor that Paxton played in for this game, so I knew we were playing against I suspected a pretty resolute back 5, so I wanted him come in on his right foot more, whereas in previous games he's been more on the right corridor, and that tends to make him drive more towards the corner flag, and he becomes a supplier in terms of crosses or through passes, whereas we play him on the left, he's more of a goal scoring threat as well. So I thought he was a bit unlucky with his 2 strikes in the first half. Georgie Meningu got to the byline a lot, and I think it was in their moments that Austin really defended the penalty box well. Some of our movements could have been cleaner, but that's some stuff for us to work on. So Overall, I actually thought it was probably our best performance against a low block this season, because sometimes you do come away thinking we didn't really create much tonight, but I was really pleased with the amount of chances we created.
Okay, we have time for just two more. Brayden, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned Yusuf and what he can provide to this team. I'm just curious, who else on the field in their role, in their position, could benefit from a player like that, and how soon are you expecting him to be able to see the pitch?
Yeah, the second part of that question, I literally don't have a clue. I don't really know the logistical side of things here. He's ready to play, so he's physically in good condition. Could be better, but that's because he's coming here where we are so extreme in terms of our physical preparation. So he'll need to get up to speed in terms of how we train and how we play, and the physical demands that we have here, and also the demands of your body composition. So there'll all be little adaptations for him, but he's got a great attitude. He's very driven. He's very ambitious. He knows his qualities, which is important, and he feels he's got a point to prove as well. So that was a big reason for bringing him here. But the answer to the first part of the question is everyone can benefit. We'll benefit as a team. The strikers will benefit because he sees through balls a lot better than our other midfielders. It's just an intuition he has and a feeling he has. The wingers will benefit because they'll get better, cleaner service, and he will benefit himself because he's coming to play in the style of a big team, which I think he's been craving, is to come to a team that is offensive, a team that does dominate the ball, a team that is committed to finding their number 10s between the lines. I mean, some of the play first half goes under the radar in terms of playing against 5-2-3, and some of our play through the middle of the pitch was outstanding in terms of how we combine through the pivots to find Paxton and Wayne in between the lines. So I would imagine, I haven't spoken to him, but I would imagine Yusuf is sitting there in the stands licking his lips at some of those situations. And then the other side to who will benefit is Paxton, is Wayne, is Josh, is Alex Harris, those guys that are also there. They benefit from competition. You benefit from not knowing your shirt is secure. You benefit from knowing if I drop a little bit in training, Yusuf's going to start and I have to sit on the bench. So that's something I'm trying to create, or have tried to create here since day one, but we've still got some way to go in terms of bringing players into the building of the next level up in terms of quality.
And last question.
Coach, Keegan Rosemary makes his 200th appearance for the club this evening. We've all known him for quite some time. You not so long. In 6 months, how would you encapsulate Keegan Rosemary, the player, and also a member of this club?
Yeah, I just said in the dressing room in front of all the players, it's such a special achievement, and you can only make those achievements if you are a consummate professional. I think that's the biggest thing for me with Keegan in terms of how he looks after himself. He's very impressive with his top off. He's in unbelievable physical condition. He has a good mind for the game. He still shows, despite having played all those games, full commitment every day in training, full willingness to learn. He's been very open to a new style of play, and he's done that against the backdrop of not having a huge amount of minutes. And I'm sure there's many decisions I've made where he's been thinking, oh, I don't agree with that. I should be playing there, or I should have come off the bench there instead of so and so. So he's maintained that professionalism, despite, I'm sure, having an undercurrent of disappointment and frustration on certain days. So yeah, I have massive respect for him, the player, but more so him, the person. He's been outstanding for us, and as one of our vice captains, he's a great leader behind the scenes. So yeah, I think really special night for him as well. I think the game required him to come on the pitch, but I was also determined to get him onto the pitch, because I think it's a really memorable moment for him, one that he's earned long before I arrived.